crazy things happening in China. Number 18. Noah's Ark of China. The end of the world may be coming at any minute now, and China has found a crazy way to prepare for the apocalypse. Would you be willing to live inside a 6-ton ball house that floats on water? It can actually host 3 people, store food for 10 months, and capable of making it through heat waves and rain. But some are concerned the design might not seem cool enough to sell a lot. Number 17. Singles Day. Some of us who don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend on Valentine's Day might feel a little bit lonely. The dating culture used to be virtually non-existent there. Since the male-to-female ratio there is quite skewed towards males, more and more are single. In honor of the loneliest number, 1, Singles Day is celebrated on November 11th. Instead of buying your significant other a gift like you would on Valentine's Day, it's a day where you treat yourself to what you want. This is now a huge shopping day in China, similar to our Black Friday. Number 16. Tourism laws. The Chinese traveling overseas seems to be an all-time high. We've probably seen Chinese tourists at one point in our lives. After a few incidents have taken place, the Chinese government got a little bit embarrassed, to say the least. For example, a Chinese teenager scribbled his name on a 3,500-year-old Luxor tomb that you see in this photo. Also, this photo of beachgoers taking a photo of a dying dolphin was not well liked. And don't forget about the Chinese tourists washing their feet at the Louvre's fountain. The government is now setting up new guidelines for these travelers who share different cultural norms. Maybe they'll begin to adapt better to other cultures' customs. Number 15. Suicide nets. Sweatshops in China can be brutal. Imagine only getting paid $1 an hour. You'd probably want to quit your job or end your life. But the people at the sweatshop factories owners care about their employees so much that they decide to build nets around the building in order to keep people from taking their own lives. Conditions inside this factory at Shenzhen are slowly improving after 18 people killed themselves. Number 14. Body doubles. Imagine getting yourself into big trouble, but you don't even need to hire a lawyer to get away scot-free. In China, it's believed that wealthier Chinese citizens can actually hire body doubles to appear for them in court. If that person gets convicted, the body double gets sent to prison, and not the actual person who committed the crime. This isn't a new practice either. This dates back to 1834, when Western tourists documented the body doubles. How much would you want to get paid to go to prison? Number 13. Love hunters. With quite an uneven guy-to-girl ratio in China, about 120 males for every 100 females, it might not always be easy for guys to find love. So being a matchmaker in China can turn into a lucrative profession. But here, they don't have your ordinary matchmakers. Here in China, the matchmakers find you. And the job is more like hunting, if anything. They're often found in shopping malls, hoping to recruit bachelorettes into joining matchmaking databases. The Chinese millionaires don't always have the time to go pick up women themselves, and can be quite picky of who they want to date. A matchmaker can receive a bonus of $30,000 for finding the right person. Number 12. Eye shaving. Most of us would completely cringe to the thought of a razor blade touching our eyeball. A traditional Chinese practice known as eye shaving involves using a razor to clean eyes, and is still practiced occasionally to this day. Whatever happened to Visine? The razor is dipped into water, then gently scraped across the surface of both eyelids. If all goes well, this guy will still have his eyesight. A patient said that after the 5-minute process, his eyes felt more moist, and his vision was cleaner. Would you be willing to give it a try? Number 11. The Chinese death penalty. If you thought Texas used the death penalty often, you've clearly never been to China. Capital crimes include arson, sex with a minor, organizing a mass rebellion, counterfeiting currency, and human trafficking, just to name a few. You can even get the death penalty for killing a panda. The panda is regarded as a national treasure, and the Supreme People's Court has warned that killing one is punishable by death. Punishments can range from 10 years in prison to execution. Just recently, in 2011, 13 crimes were removed from the death penalty list, but there's still 46 capital crimes in this nation. Number 10. Mini Paris. This place is home to the Eiffel Tower, French-style apartments, the Champs-Élysées, and European-style fountains. But we're not looking at the capital city of France. No, this is in China. The Chinese constructed a strikingly similar replica to Paris in the city of Hangzhou. There's also almost virtually no residents of this town, and it appears to be turning into a ghost town. The district known as Tianducheng was built to accommodate 10,000 people. You would imagine more people would want to live in a Parisian replica with that European vibe, but the idea just hasn't caught on yet. Number 9. Cricket fighting. While some of us in the United States might be into UFC or boxing matches, in China, they have cricket fighting competitions, and they get pretty intense. Cricket fighting is taken quite seriously over there, and a prize cricket champion could be worth over $1,500 or 10,000 yuan. Considering they only have a lifespan of about 100 days, this hobby might get quite expensive. Many people take a large amount of time training and breeding their crickets to be the best. With a high-protein diet, these insects are lean, mean fighting machines. The winner of the fight might have something to chirp about at the end. Number 8. Cockroach farms. While most of us are doing our best to completely eradicate the cockroach population down to zero, in China, cockroach farms are multiplying across the country each day. The cockroaches are popular in Chinese traditional medicine, and the price for dried cockroach has skyrocketed in recent years. 1 pound was originally priced at $2, but now farmers can sell it for about 20. Some farmers claim that investments will pay off 7.5 times the original amount of money put in. Time to get into the cockroach biz, folks. Number 7. Spitting laws. Spitting does seem gross to a lot of people, but as long as they're not getting spit on, it shouldn't be a crime, right? Recently, China has been cracking down on spitters in an effort to improve public hygiene. Anyone found by the spitting police to be spitting will be fined about 20 yuan, but it really depends on the city. Places like Shanghai, the person will have to clean it up and then pay 200 yuans or $25. Street cameras have been placed in order to enforce this relatively new regulation. 6. Massive traffic jams. If you thought waiting around in a traffic jam in LA or New York was bad, in China, it's on a whole nother level. After seeing what's going on here, you'll never complain about bad traffic again. There are quite a few challenges of driving in the world's most populous country. Some mega highways here have as many as 50 lanes, and still, the streets can get quite congested like we see in this photo. Cars can often come to a complete standstill for hours on end. This guy here even has time to do push-ups in the middle of the street while cars are immobile. It also seems like a tailgate party in the middle of the freeway. Chinese automobile ownership is relatively a new concept. Still, only about 30% of the citizens own cars. However, this percentage is likely to continue to greatly increase in the future. Number 5. Moon balloon havoc. Another challenge of operating the streets in China is having to deal with giant balloons sweeping across the roads. The moon balloon was originally used as a festival prop in the province of Fujian. When a monsoon struck the coastal town of Fuzhou, it caused a massive balloon to begin rolling through the streets, almost like a scene from Indiana Jones. It's seen rolling over cars, and a motorcyclist tries to flee in the nick of time. More than 500,000 homes have lost power due to this monsoon, and several people were injured. Number 4. Smallest car invention. If you're desperately trying to save money on gas or just want to help out the environment, you should look into getting one of the smallest cars in the world. It uses about 1 liter of gasoline per 62 miles. That's about 234 miles per gallon. If you're not careful, however, this thing really looks more like a rolling casket, if anything. China might want to consider making this a standard vehicle, considering the fact they are #1 producer of carbon emissions, which brings me to my next one. Number 3. Out of control pollution. Major cities of China are absolutely devastated by apocalyptic clouds of smog. In some places, the air quality is so bad that living in one of these cities could be equivalent to smoking 3 packs of cigarettes in one day. Places like Baoding and Linfen, China are left in a toxic cloak and are among some of the most polluted cities in the world. Coming here can leave a bad taste in your mouth, quite literally, burn your eyes, and leave you with lung disease. The main source of this fog is from China's dependence on coal as a fuel source. It's the main source of energy, and the city of Linfen is a major producer of this unclean fuel source. China's goal of achieving industrial superiority has left them with a slew of environmental problems. The smog is getting so bad that NASA even released these images of smog clouds from space. Number 2. Chinese Fashion Week. Chinese fashion designers dressed up some models in strange designs, to say the least. Fashion shows can get weird just about anywhere, but they won't always leave you with nightmares like this one. The models were dressed up in devilish red dresses with horns, and even fake blood. The show was full of unsettling images, such as this one here of a model holding on to 2 baby dolls covered in fake blood. This one here even has 8 heads. If this is what's in style, it might be best just to be unfashionable.
And now for number 1. But first, be sure to subscribe for new videos every day.
Number 1. The elevated bus. The Chinese are trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here and tackle both pollution and traffic jam issues. The elevated bus allows it to have cars drive under it, reducing the amount of space buses take up on the street as well. This was unveiled at a tech expo in China and can carry up to 1,200 passengers. It's still in the process of being developed, and engineers are hoping this will be on the streets in China sometime next year.